Hello, this is Mrs. Lilla. We're going to be looking at 4.2 review worksheet today over linear equations or linear functions. So we're going to look at slope-intercept form and standard form. Now the directions say on this first part you're going to write in standard form, which is ax plus by equals to c, the equation of each line. So the first thing I want you to do is add these notes right here. When you're writing in standard form, you cannot have any fractions, no fractions, and no decimals. Write this down. Now, when I'm looking at this right here, on this first one, go ahead and try working this first one. Put it in standard form and work it, and then put me on pause when you do so. So the first thing that we're going to do when we're looking at this one is to get rid of the fractions. So I see I have a negative 7 over 5, so I'm going to say multiply this by 5, 5, 5. So I'm going to say 5 times y is 5y equals 2, and this cancels out, and I have negative 7x plus 5. Now, what we're going to do is get the x and the y together on one side. So I look at this, and I'm going to say plus 7x plus 7x, and this will cancel out, and I see that my final answer written in the standard form is 7x plus 5y equals to 5. So this is my final answer. Now look at number 2. Number 2, you're going to get it in standard form also, use distributive property. So now take this and put me on pause while you work this out. Now, when we look at this one, the first thing I see, I'm going to have to use distributive property. So when I'm looking at distributive property, I'm going to get rid of the negative 7. So I'm going to say negative 7 times x is a negative 7x plus 7. Now we have to, it doesn't matter which one you start with first, but we do have to move the, I'm going to move the 4 first, and I'm going to say negative 4 and negative 4. This will cancel out, and I have y equals to a negative 7x plus 3. Now I still have to get my x and y on the same side, so I'm going to say plus 7x plus 7x. This will cancel out, and I have 7x plus y equals to 3. This is right here is my final answer. Now, number 3. On number 3, get x and y together, write in standard form. Put me on pause when you do that. So the first thing I'm going to do now is to say negative 4, negative 4. So I'm going to have a negative 2y equals to, we cannot combine negative 4 with the negative x. They are unlike terms. The negative 4 does not have an x. So I'm going to say negative x plus 4, and I'm going to have to move the x over. So I'm going to say plus x. You cannot combine the x and y together, so this will cancel out, and I have x minus 2y equals to 4. Now this is in standard form. Pause me while we look at this next one. So go ahead and pause and find your slope and your y-intercept and put it in standard form. Now the first thing I'm going to do is find the slope. So when I look at this right here, the first thing I'm going to do is look for a corner. A corner, a corner, 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 corner. And I see that I can make my triangle rise over run. It doesn't matter the size, but I am going to pick 2 corners right here. And we have our, since it's going downhill, it's left to right, it is a negative slope. So we're going to have a negative and then your fraction, because your slope is rise over run. Now, I see that I have 1, 2. It is a negative slope. Negative 2 is the rise, and run is 1. So my slope is a negative 2 over 1, which reduces down to a negative 2. I also have to find my Y-intercept. Where does that line cross the Y-axis? So I see it crosses at a 0, -2. So I'm going to put 0, -2 here. Now I'm going to write this in standard in slope-intercept form first. So I have y equals to a -2x minus 2. We have to move the x over in standard form. So it's going to be a plus 2x plus 2x. This cancels out and I have 2x plus y equals to a -2. So this right here is in standard form. Now look at B. Pause me while you complete this one. Now, in looking at B, the first thing, number 5, we're looking at, we're going to try to find a corner. So this one has lots of corners where the line is going through a corner in order to use it to find your slope. So the first thing that I look for right here, I see it is a negative. And like I said, it does not matter the size of your triangle. Pick 2 corners right here. This is a corner. It's a negative. So the rise is a -1. The run is 1. So we have a -1 over 1, which reduces down to a -1. Now, we have to find the Y-intercept. So this is where the line crosses the Y-axis. So when I look at this right here, I see it is crossing right here at 0, -2. So since it's crossing at a 0, -2 right here, I'm going to put a -2 right here. Now I'm going to put it in slope-intercept form. So I'll have a -1x minus 2. Get the x and y over on the same side. And we're going to say plus 1x plus 1x. This cancels out and I have x plus y equals to a -2. So this is in standard form now. And now look at number 6. On number 6, you see that we have the line right here. Find a corner. So I see I have a corner right here, and here's a corner. This is a big triangle. This time the line is a positive number. Is a positive slope. So I look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's going up in the air 5 times. 1, 2, 3 is the run. And the rise is 5 over 3. My Y-intercept is at 0. Where is it line crossing the Y-axis? And I see it is crossing at 0, 0, and is crossing at a positive 3. Now I'm going to write this in slope-intercept form. Y equals to 5/3 x plus 3. Now, I have to get rid of my fractions. Remember, for it to be in standard form, no fractions. So I'm going to use my denominator and multiply all the way through by 3. So I have 3y, and this cancels out, equals 5x plus 9. Get x and y over on the same side, and you see that we have -5x, -5x, and this cancels out. So my final answer right here is 5x plus 3y equals to 9. And that is in standard form. Now, go to the next one. This one you're going to sketch the graph of the line. So when I look at this one right here, I see first off, I'm going to write this. I see that I have y equals mx plus b. This is already in slope-intercept form. So our slope right here is 7 over 2. And my y-intercept is at 0, -2. Now I need to correct this, and that should be, my slope is 7 over 2. So the first thing I'm going to do is start with my y-intercept. Remember, B comes before the M in the alphabet, so you're going to start with B first. So B, it starts at a -2. And we're going to, this is like climbing up and down. We go up and down the y-axis. So, since it's positive, we're going to climb up 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then run to the right. Step off of it and run to the right. Now, we do not want a line segment. We want a line. So I look at this right here. That's a line segment. Do not do that. Make sure that your line extends below the line right here. Now, I look at this one, and I see there's no m, there's no x, so the slope is 0. My y-intercept is at 0, negative 5. Now, I see that this is y equals to a negative 5. So in other words, what you're going to do is that y tells me it can only cross the y-axis at a negative 5. So I put my point here, go across, and now we have the slope of 0 right up here. Now, look at number 9. Put me on pause while you complete this one. Okay, now the first thing that we're going to do is get y by itself. So I have this one, I'm going to put negative x, negative x. This cancels out, and I'm going to write it right here. And I see that we have negative 1y equals to negative 1x plus 3. So we still have to get y by itself. We cannot have a negative y. So I'm going to divide everything through by negative 1, negative 1, negative 1. This right here cancels out. And I have y equals to negative 1 divided by negative 1 is a positive 1x. 3 minus 7 will, 3 minus 1, excuse me, 3 minus, 3 divided by negative 1 will give you a negative 3. My pen is not wanting to cooperate very well, so that is a negative. Now, this right here is in slope-intercept form. So I'm going to look at this right here, and I see that my slope is at a positive 1, right here, 1 over 1, and my y-intercept is at 0, negative 3. So the first thing I'm going to do is start at my y-intercept, b. So b is 0, negative 3. Now, my y-intercept, you're going to go up 1 and to the right 1. My slope is a positive 1. So I'm going to go up 1 to the right 1, 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 up 1 to the right 1. Now, if we want to extend the line the other way, we just reverse it. We go down 1, backwards 1, down 1, backwards 1, down 1, backwards 1. Now, I'm going to draw the line to connect all the points. And remember, we're going to extend it past those points. So now we have the line drawn. And so this is the review of slope-intercept in standard form, and this is what I want you to do. I want you to take this paper, and I want you to glue it into your composition notebook, for your interactive notebook, and make sure you keep these notes. If you have any questions, let me know.